Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. You're watching News Tonight with me, Tina Jha. In the next 30 minutes, I'll be taking you through the day's biggest news stories from across India and the world. Beginning with the COVID-19 situation in the country, India's COVID-19 infections jumped to 16 lakh after more than 55,000 new cases were reported in a single day on Thursday. India added over 1 lakh cases in just the last 2 days. India is the third worst hit country in terms of cases and has the world's fifth highest death count due to COVID-19. India had a new record surge in coronavirus cases with over 55,000 fresh infections registered in the last 24 hours. With 779 new deaths in the last 24 hours, the death toll has now reached 35,747. More than 10,58,000 patients have recovered. The recovery rate stands at 64.54%. Over 5,45,000 cases are active. The death rate from COVID-19 is 2.18% compared to the global average of about 4%. Over 6,42,000 samples were tested on Thursday, the highest so far. India has tested 1,88 lakh samples till date. Test positivity rate, which is the percentage of patients who tested positive for COVID-19, stood at 8.57% on Friday. In India, TPR is above the WHO benchmark of 5%. India crossed 16 lakh COVID-19 cases in 183 days. 9,60,000 new COVID-19 cases were recorded in July, which is 61.12% of the infections reported since the beginning of the pandemic. 18,000 COVID-19 linked deaths, or 50% total deaths so far, were registered this month. India reported an increase of 24,000 cases a day on average from 3rd July to 9 July. Between 24th to 30th July, the number grew to over 45,000 to 50,000 a day on an average. The government on Thursday said the COVID-19 recovery rate in India has been showing positive trends, but the country can't count on herd immunity given its demography and scale, adding that India will have to rely on a vaccine and appropriate behavior to beat COVID-19. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. India on Friday extended the ban on international commercial passenger flights till the 31st of August. However, the restrictions will not apply to international all-cargo operations and flights specially approved by it. Earlier, the ban was imposed till 31st of July. The country has signed transport bubble agreements with the United States, France, Germany and Kuwait. In this report, let's take a look at some other COVID-19 related updates. The top 5 states with over 1 lakh infections have 63.18% cases of the total confirmed cases in India. Maharashtra reported its biggest single-day spike in fresh cases on Thursday with 11,000 infections, taking the tally to over 4 lakh cases. The state has the highest number of cases in the country, followed by Tamil Nadu and Delhi. Andhra Pradesh also reported the highest ever single-day COVID-19 cases of 10,167 on Thursday. Total caseload in the state has crossed 1,30,000. Karnataka on Thursday reported the biggest single-day jump of 6,128 new cases of COVID-19 and 83 related deaths, taking the total number of infections to over 1,18,000 and the death count to 2,230. 5,864 new COVID-19 cases and 97 deaths were reported in Tamil Nadu, taking the state's total to 2,39,978 and 3,838 deaths till date. Assam too reported the highest single-day jump in fresh infections with 2,112 new patients, taking the state's tally past 38,000. Along with the bigger states, cases are also rising in the smaller states of the country. Sikkim has extended complete lockdown in the state till 31st August in view of the rising COVID-19 cases. The hill state has over 600 cases until now. Lockdown was also extended in Jharkhand till 31st August in the wake of the increasing number of cases of coronavirus. Amid rising cases, the Kerala government has allowed asymptomatic patients to undergo treatment at their homes, provided they have a single room with toilet facilities for isolation. West Bengal government has also extended the ban on passenger flights to Kolkata from 6 cities, Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Nagpur and Ahmedabad till 15th August. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has directed the centre to ensure that the salaries of doctors and health workers involved in the fight against COVID-19 are disbursed on time. Unlock 3.0 will come into effect in the country starting Saturday, under which night curfew has been revoked. While gyms and yoga institutes can open from the 5th of August, educational institutes, metro rail and cinema halls will remain closed.
And on a day when novel coronavirus cases crossed 17.5 million worldwide, the World Health Organization has warned that recent increases were driven by young people letting down their guard.
Evidence suggested that spikes of cases in some countries are being driven in part by younger people letting down their guard during the Northern Hemisphere summer. We have said it before, and we will say it again. Young people are not invincible. Young people can be infected. Young people can die. And young people can transmit the virus to others.
The death count has crossed over 6.7 lakh all over the world. On Thursday, the United States reported over 81,000 new cases, taking its tally to over 4.5 million. Over 1.6 lakh people have died in the country. Brazil had a daily count of 57,837 cases, bringing the total cases to over 2.6 million. Japan had 1,301 new cases, including 463 from Tokyo. Authorities warned of a possible emergency if the situation worsens. Australia's Victoria state tightened measures after 627 new infections were reported on Friday.
We've all got to do the right thing. We've all got to play our part, and particularly for those who are positive, then the only place to be is at home. It is just not. It's not acceptable, and no element of this strategy will be successful if, when we door knock you, we're finding 1 in 4 people not at home, they're somewhere else. Those matters have been referred to Victoria Police. That'll be a matter for them to investigate and deal with those issues on their merits.
Hong Kong has postponed the Legislative Council elections on September 6 due to a fresh outbreak. 121 new coronavirus cases on Friday brought the nation's tally to 3,273. Economies around the world are calculating the cost of the pandemic. America's GDP collapsed by the worst ever 32.9% annual rate in the second quarter due to the shutdowns. Over 54 million initial unemployment claims were filed over the past 19 weeks. Europe's economy shrank a record 11.9%, while Spain has entered recession after reporting an 18.5% collapse in the second quarter of its GDP. France and Italy also recorded GDP falls of 13.8% and 12.4% respectively, while Germany's economy plunged 10.1% in April to June.
Amid the race for a vaccine for COVID-19, Johnson & Johnson has begun early-stage human trials of its COVID-19 experimental vaccine.
The company has started phase 1/2 clinical trials on more than 1,000 healthy adults in the United States and Belgium. The vaccine showed strong protection in animal trials. Oxford and Moderna's potential vaccines have also shown promising early-stage results in humans. Their vaccines are now in final stage trials after some promising initial results. Pfizer and German partner BioNTech's potential vaccine and Chinese biotech firm Sinovac's vaccine are at the phase 3 stage. Russia is expecting its coronavirus vaccine to get final regulatory approval in August. The vaccine developed by Gamaleya Institute completed early human trials this month. Meanwhile, top infectious disease specialist and senior advisor to US President Donald Trump on COVID-19, Dr. Anthony Fauci, has said that India would play an important role in supplying the world with a COVID-19 vaccine. Dr. Fauci was speaking at an online event organized by the Indian Council of Medical Research on Thursday. The event was attended by several globally acclaimed medical experts and scientists.
In some other news, BJP MP Shiv Pratap Shukla has been appointed chairman of the Ethics Committee of Rajya Sabha. The Ethics Committee is in charge of reviewing complaints relating to behaviour and activities of the members of parliament.
A parliamentary bulletin stated that BJP MP Shiv Pratap Shukla has been appointed chairman of the Ethics Committee of Rajya Sabha. Chairman Rajya Sabha Venkaiah Naidu recently appointed 3 other members of parliament in the Ethics Committee. Tiruchi Siva of TMK, Dr. K. Kesava Rao of TRS and YSR Congress Party's V. Vijay Sai Reddy. The Ethics Committee of Rajya Sabha has 11 members including the chairman. Apart from the 4 newly appointed members, MP Anand Sharma of Congress, MP Ram Gopal Yadav of Samajwadi Party, MP A. Navneet Krishnan of AIA-DMK, MP Derek O'Brien of TMC, MP Ramchandra of Janata Dal United and MP Prasanna Acharya of BJD are also part of the committee. Under Rule 290, the committee has the following functions: oversee moral and ethical conduct of members, prepare a code of conduct for members and suggest amendments or additions to the code from time to time in the form of reports to the council, examine cases concerning the alleged breach of the code of conduct by members as also cases concerning allegations of any other ethical misconduct of members, and tender advice to members on questions involving ethical standards either suo motu or on receiving specific requests. Rule 297 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Council of States provides that for any member who has indulged in unethical behavior or has contravened the code or rules, the committee may recommend any of the following sanctions, including censure, reprimand, suspension from the council for a specific period, and any other sanction determined appropriate by the committee. This is Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Talking about the National Education Policy, the NEP 2020 approved by the Union Cabinet on Wednesday aims to focus on regional languages.
The language segment of the new policy, termed as multilingualism and power of language, stresses on the use of local or home language wherever possible. The policy states that the medium of instruction till at least class 5, but preferably till class 8 and beyond, will be the home language, mother tongue, local language and regional language. However, of the 3 languages under the new school educational structure, the policy stated, children will have the flexibility to choose whichever language they want as long as at least 2 of them are native to India. Meanwhile, amid apprehensions being raised whether schools will now need to shift their medium of instruction from English to a native Indian language, the government has clarified that the language policy was not compulsory but only a suggestion. The 3-language formula initiated in the first NEP in 1968 continues in the National Education Policy 2020, and the centre has allayed concerns saying the language policy emphasizing medium of instruction in regional or mother tongue is a broad guideline and it is up to the states and institutions to decide its exact implementation. The NEP approved by the Union Cabinet at a meeting presided by Prime Minister Narendra Modi replaces the 34-year-old National Policy on Education framed way back in 1986.
The Supreme Court has postponed the hearing on University Grants Commission's guidelines on the conduct of final year examinations. The hearing will now be held on the 10th of August.
The Supreme Court on Friday continued hearing in the matter related to the pleas challenging UGC revised guidelines of conducting final year university exams across the country. The top court did not pass any interim order and decided that the matter will be heard next on 10th of August and told the parties to complete the pleadings by that time. It is noteworthy that final year university exams have been pending since March because of restrictions in place due to the coronavirus lockdown. The UGC remains adamant on its decision of not cancelling the final year exams, asking all universities of conducting final year exams by September end. It says that its 6th of July 2020 revised guidelines offer sufficient flexibility and are intended to protect the academic future of students. On Friday, it said that students should not be under the impression that examinations will be stayed because of the Supreme Court hearing and that they should continue to prepare for the examinations.
Appearing for one of the petitioners, lawyer Abhishek Manu Singhvi argued that the cases of coronavirus are spiraling and also that UGC's guidelines to hold the exams, which include the option to hold them online, were arbitrary. Another of the petitioners also argued that floods in Bihar made the conduct of exams difficult and an interim order should be passed, which the court refused to do.
Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri on Friday released Affordable Rental Housing Complexes ARHC's knowledge pack via video conferencing.
The minister said that the cabinet on the 8th of July had approved ARHCs as a sub-scheme under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban to provide ease of living to urban migrants or poor, which was in line with Prime Minister Modi's clarion call for Atmanirbhar Bharat. He said that the affordable housing scheme is an integral part of the government's vision of housing for all by 2022.
Rental housing is necessary for our younger people, those who have just started their professional lives. They don't want to invest and be tied down. But more important, I think COVID has taught us a lesson that there are some segments of our society about whom we were not sufficiently mindful, and I'm talking about migrant labor.
Affordable rental housing complexes will be implemented through two models, either by utilizing existing government-funded vacant houses converted into ARHCs or by public agencies for a period of 25 years, or construction, operation and maintenance of ARHCs by public-private entities on their own available vacant land for a period of 25 years. A mobile application of Credai, Awas and an e-commerce portal of Naredco, Housing for All, was also launched by the minister on the occasion. These online platforms will leverage technology and provide benefits to home buyers in changing market practices by providing effective solutions.
Nodal agency Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre, InSpace, was announced a month ago to commercialize space activities in the country. Let's look at how the Department of Space is planning to use InSpace in the Indian space sector.
Indian Space Research Organization will complement the Department of Space in its objective to open up the space sector to private industries. Assisting in this will be Indian Nodal Space Promotion and Authorization Centre, or InSpace, the independent nodal agency under the Department of Space. InSpace will be established as a single window agency that will oversee and permit the activities of private companies into the space sector. Permitted activities will include building space launch vehicles, satellites, and providing space-based services. It will also oversee sharing of ISRO assets with private players. The agency will also monitor use of data generated by private spacecraft and rolling out of space-based services. InSpace will also handhold and guide private players in matters of technology, promotion, and expertise. Further, InSpace will allow private players to use some facilities free of cost while charging a reasonable cost for other facilities. Private players can also establish their own facilities within ISRO's premises based on safety norms and other standards.
The government is thinking that now ISRO should concentrate more on research and development, like say maybe developing new launch vehicles, maybe like Gaganyaan, human mission, deep space missions like going to moon or Mars, and then leave the commercial aspect, launching of communication satellites or other kinds of satellites which are used essentially for commercial purpose to private players.
The government has stated that the decision of the InSpace will be definite and final, and private players will seek no direct permission from ISRO.
InSpace is being established as a single window system where the non-governmental private players can participate in the space activities. It will provide a level playing field. It will including hand-holding, regulatory activities, and integrating various players so that there can be a unified approach in terms of launches.
InSpace will have a chairman, technical experts for space activities, safety considerations, legal and strategic experts, and members of industry and academia. It will also have members from the Prime Minister's Office and Ministry of External Affairs. A monitoring directorate will have oversight till the completion of the missions as per InSpace decisions. Disputes, if any, will be resolved by InSpace and the Department of Space. With inputs from Aruna Thakur, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Union Minister of Road, Transport and Highways, Nitin Gadkari, inaugurated the upstream lane of Bihar's Mahatma Gandhi Setu on Friday. The western flank of the key bridge connecting North and South Bihar has been renovated at a cost of 1,742 crore rupees.
Inaugurating two completed lanes of the four-lane Mahatma Gandhi Setu through video conference, Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari termed it an engineering marvel. He said the renovated bridge connecting Hajipur to Patna is one of its kind in the country, adding that under the project, existing concrete structure has been replaced by a new steel deck superstructure. The superstructure consumed 66,000 tons of steel and will prove as a case study. He announced bridge projects worth 10,338 crore rupees on the river Ganga in Bihar, saying the government is taking multiple steps to boost the economy of the state.
ये अपने आप में एक बहुत अच्छा ऐसा एक सुपर स्ट्रक्चर जो कंक्रीट का था उसको रिप्लेस करके स्टील में कन्वर्ट किया गया है। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये एक बहुत ही बिहार के इतिहास में, देश के इतिहास में पहली बार इस प्रकार के टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग करके इसका यशस्वी निर्माण हुआ।
Gadkari also announced that the remaining 2 lanes of the 5-kilometer long Mahatma Gandhi Setu will be completed by December 2021. Union Ministers Ravi, Shankar, Prasad and Ramvilas Paswan, along with Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, were present on the occasion.
आदरणीय नितिन गडकरी जी को विशेष तौर पर धन्यवाद देता हूं कि उन्होंने जो इस पुल का निर्माण किया गया, पुल के सुपर स्ट्रक्चर का जो निर्माण किया गया, उसकी शुरुआत की गई और जैसा आपने सब बताया बहुत अच्छे ढंग से एक एक बात की आपने जानकारी दे दी है और कितना इसको लेकर के लंबे काल तक चलता रहा कि पूरा पुल बनेगा, कि उसका एक हिस्सा बनेगा और अंत में जो तय हुआ और जो नया काम किया गया है और आपने ठीक ही कहा, इसके लिए तो सब लोग इसका अध्ययन करेंगे, देखेंगे.
In addition to the existing old Mahatma Gandhi Setu, a parallel new 5-kilometer long and 4-lane bridge on River Ganga is also on the anvil. According to Nitin Gadkari, work on the project will begin in October and will be completed by March 2024. It will be constructed at a cost of 2,926 crore rupees.
And news now about the border standoff between India and China. While China is trying to claim that de-escalation and disengagement in Ladakh is almost complete, India has made it completely clear that this is far from truth. India has said that the process of de-escalation and disengagement is still ongoing. So why is China misrepresenting facts? My colleague Akhilesh Suman answers the question in this report.
Within minutes of Chinese ambassador in Delhi, Sun Weidong stating in a speech in Delhi that disengagement and de-escalation in Ladakh is almost complete, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Anurag Srivastava lost no time in refuting the claim. While asserting that the process is still on, he said commanders from both sides will meet to review and decide the future course of action.
There remains a big gap between the Indian and Chinese positions as far as we can study. The Indian side says that the disengagement process has shown some progress, but it is far from complete. While the Chinese side says that the process has almost been fully completed.
Close on the heels of India's decision to restrict Chinese exports to India and the ban on Chinese apps, China is trying to claim that it wants to work with India. In the same speech, the Chinese ambassador proposed high-level trade and investment dialogue between the two countries, along with a manufacturing partnership. To this, MEA spokesperson Anurag Srivastava clarified that no bilateral cooperation can be realized without peace and tranquility on the border.
It would be very important that real progress is made and the situation is made normal and the status quo ante is secured to the satisfaction of both sides. If that is not done, then it is difficult to imagine how normalcy can be achieved. Important meetings are coming up. The authorities in Delhi will have to do a cost-benefit analysis to decide whether we can go ahead with them or not.
In the past, India had worked closely with China on various international fora. But now the changing situation could also impact India's approach on fora like BRICS and SCO that are important to the Chinese. This is Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
To encourage domestic manufacturing, India has imposed restrictions on imports of color television sets. The Directorate General of Foreign Trade issued a notification late on Thursday evening, amending the import policy of color TV sets from free to restricted category.
According to the new restrictions, import of TV sets in certain categories will now require a license from the government. The curbs are applicable to TV sets included in the other color category that covers LCD TVs among the goods. However, there is no restriction on monochrome TVs. India has a 15,000 crore rupees TV industry and over 36% of that is imported primarily from China and Southeast Asia. In the year 2018, color television sets worth $781 million were imported, worth $428 million from Vietnam and $292 million from China. The move is in line with the government's Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan to produce electronic items in a cost-effective manner and also invite global manufacturers to set up units in India.
Marking the first anniversary of the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Act 2019, Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said triple talaq was given political patronage in the country for votes. He said it was the Narendra Modi government that criminalized the practice of instant triple talaq and in the process bolstered self-reliance and self-confidence among Muslim women.
Addressing Muslim women on Friday, Naqvi asserted that after the law was enacted, triple talaq cases have come down drastically. He said 1st of August is Muslim Women Rights Day, a day when Muslim women were freed from the social evil of triple talaq.
3 तलाक जो है वो 1 साल पहले अपराध बना और अपराध बनने से मुस्लिम महिलाओं का आत्मविश्वास, आत्मसम्मान और आत्मनिर्भरता को मुहर लगी और मुहर मजबूती मिली। और इसीलिए मैं बार बार कहता हूं कि न हम सफ़र न किसी हम नशी से निकलेगा, न हम सफ़र न किसी हम नशी से निकलेगा, हमारे पाँव का कांटा हम ही से निकलेगा। तो हमने उस पाँव के कांटे को निकाला है और महिलाओं के और मुस्लिम महिलाओं के सशक्तिकरण और उनके सम्मान के लिए ये कानून जो है वो पास किया है।
Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad and Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani also addressed the event. Smriti Irani said the law banning triple talaq is a victory for millions of Muslim women and a true testimony to Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. Ravi Shankar Prasad assured Muslim women of making efforts to make them digitally literate.
नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार सिर्फ 3 तलाक की बात नहीं करती है। जैसा स्मृति जी ने कहा, नारी न्याय, नारी गरिमा, नारी सम्मान, ये हमारी सरकार का हुकूक है, उसका एक आईन है, उसका एक प्रमुख उद्देश्य है।
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has conveyed his greetings to the people on the auspicious occasion of Eid ul-Zuha.
In a message on the eve of the festival, the Vice President said Eid ul-Zuha is a celebration of unswerving devotion to God and the boundless compassion and love the Almighty has for His creation. The festival inspires us to inculcate empathy, practice sacrifice and promote peace and universal brotherhood. As India and the world continue to fight a relentless battle against the spread of COVID-19, we have been forced to celebrate almost all of our traditional festivals, which were otherwise celebrated with great splendor, at home in a more subdued manner. Under these circumstances, we have to be content with a modest celebration and strictly adhere to the safety protocols of wearing masks, practicing physical distancing and maintaining personal hygiene during all our celebrations.
So that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time. Take care of yourselves and your families. Good night.